Every landowner dreams of a nest egg to put away for their retirement. Perhaps a tree plantation like this one. These hardwoods are ready for harvest. They're about 15 metres high, and each will produce around a cubic metre of timber worth approximately $900. And how long did it take for this investment to mature? In most plantations, for just about every tree species grown in volume in Australia, harvesting would occur after 25 years. But these trees are unique. They have an incredible growth rate, which brings them to maturity after just 3 years. After growing about 6 metres in their first 6 months, they're ready to wood chip in 3 years and produce millable timber in 5. It takes both Meranti and red cedar, the closest domestic replacement, about 5 times as long to mature.
This tree here is 8 years old. It's about 60 feet tall, and at the moment it's got a girth. I can hardly reach around it, as you can see, and the girth breast high is 66 inches. We've calculated there's 1.2 cubic metres of log up to the first branch there, and it could easily be used for timber cutting now. It's more than ready to harvest, but because it's one of our favourite trees, we're not going to harvest it, we're just going to let it get bigger and bigger. The perception that you can grow a tree and harvest it in less than 10 years is a very important economic factor.
Jeff says the freedom this sort of income insurance gives the growers is especially welcome in the present economic climate.
We have timber that's been harvested 3 years old, and we've got it 8 years old. And there isn't a really big significant difference. But once you get it into the field, and put it out at the plantation development stage, after about the first 3 to 6 months of an initial stage there, it's more or less duty-free. You don't have to do anything.
And once all that's happened, you can cut them down to the ground and they grow straight back.
Because once it's been finished off and placed in view, it is what people want to see.
And this is what consumers see. Pale, fine-grained timber ready to be used raw or stained just about any colour. It's easy to handle, and the logs can be left where they're felled. The timber won't warp or buckle. It doesn't even have to be kiln dried. It can be left to air dry for several weeks, then a mill like this can be set up directly over the top. This keeps mid-level costs down. The boards can be taken directly from the farm to the timber yard.
To the cutting edge of genetic engineering technology. They're cloning kiri trees, amazing plants which grow 1 metre a month, reaching 20 metres in just 5 years. Each shoot is cut into 5. The pieces grow in a special gel and can be cloned a further 5 times, meaning one shoot can produce an infinite number of trees. The technology is seen as so vital to supplying the world's timber industry, an American company is sponsoring the charity to continue its work.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Save the World, and thank you very much for giving your attention today. We'd like to introduce the kiri tree to you. We have a tree here that grows 1 inch a day and full maturity in 5 years. It's 60 foot high in a matter of 5 years' time, and around about 1.25 foot in diameter. The particular tree has grown in this environment 1 metre a month, and we plan to harvest the tree between 3.5 years and 5 years. Save the World has many different technologies. This one in particular is very exciting. We're doing 5,000 acre plantations at a time, and those plantations will produce a minimum of $271 million net, which is a lot of net profit per 5,000 acres. The trees will be exported to different countries in the world. Save the World Technologies Incorporated USA has now got a new company in Australia called Save the World Technologies Limited, which will also be on the stock exchange in Australia. So there'll be a lot of different countries in the world taking up our technologies and producing the trees through our technology on a worldwide basis. We'll be looking for joint venturers and people that are interested in investing in our company, also on a worldwide basis, and we'll be starting in the USA with our advertising campaign right now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome our special guest of honour here today, and Mr. Jeff Cradden. Thanks very much for coming, Jeff.
It's a pleasure.
And I've been a great fan of yours and your family for many, many years, and it must be a tremendous thing to come back to this country and be so well received.
I've been away a long time and been racing overseas, obviously. It's nice to come back home eventually and catch up with all my old friends.
What do you think of our tree technology and the SuperTree, the tree that will save the world technology you've seen it today?
I think it's very impressive. It certainly is huge to me, and I haven't seen anything like this before. And to come out here and just learn about it, they're really informative, and look forward to see how it goes in the future.
And for the camera up there, you got a copy, didn't you?
Yeah, right.
And Gary, with the baby, standing with the leaf.
Yeah. Anyway, I rode past it yesterday. I was really impressed, actually. I thought this can't be the same place.
Was it that out of Canungra?
Yeah.
And did you enjoy the?
It really looks good.
The trees that we put in this time last year, this tree here.
Yeah.
For instance, was only, I think, about up to your nose, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And that's that high now, and exactly 12 months that's been in. It's a year ago since we were here.
Yeah.
1 year already. Now the thickness of that...
How tall do you reckon that is, Jeff? A tree?
Oh, geez, it's probably 3 or 4 times taller than us. 5 times. It's pretty tall.
It's quite thick at the base too.
But that's the most important thing, is that how thick that is. We've cut the other one down over here, and this one here, we cut this one down right there. That was the original one from.
Yeah. Why'd you cut it for?
So that it'll grow back from the stump.
Just to make sure.
We'll show people how it actually will grow back from the stump.
Yeah, that's it.
And this one here we cut down as well. It's going to grow back from the stump right behind you, Jack.
Oh yeah.
And when we come here next year, that one there, and this one here should be at least 30 foot high again, this time in 1 year's time. So it's been an incredible growth. We can make out of this here now some beautiful walking sticks, because it's so light. It's very rare that you could pick up a whole tree in one hand like that.
Incredible, huh?
Incredibly light. And makes you look like Superman. So you were happy with what you saw out there at Canungra?
Yeah, lovely. Really looks good.
And we're going to go up, and before you go back, and show you your trees that we took a year ago.
Yeah, okay.
And up at Terranora, and see what you think of it and the growth.
Yeah.
Alright, how old are these?
How old are these trees now?
These trees have just been planted just before Christmas, which is about the 25th of course, of December, 1997. And today's date is the 30th, roughly, 31st of this January, 1997.
Shit, it's Nan's birthday.
Oops.
All on tape.
I just remembered. Your mother's 97 today.
Good odds for ring up. We'll have to leak
97 today, Pro,
We'll
eh?
have to leak now. We'll have to leak now. Yeah.
It's hard to believe that this tree attained this height in just 9 months. World forest cover is rapidly declining because of clearing and logging, especially of our rainforests. There's also increased demand for timber worldwide. And these things are happening at a time that we're recognizing the need to protect high environmental value forests from logging by placing them in national parks and reserves. It's essential that we move to a plantation-based timber industry that provides the timber that we need at the time that we need it, at a price that's both economically and environmentally acceptable.